Welcome everyone, I'm Dale and this is Cinema Historia. Homeless boys, one man's vision, and another troubled soul. This week we're going back to 1938 for a biographical drama film called Boys Town, starring Spencer Tracy and Mickey Rooney. And this is directed by Norman Taurog. So, where does our story begin this week? Well, our story begins with Dan Farrow, a convicted murderer who has to make a confession on the day of his execution. He is visited by an old friend, Father Flanagan, played by Spencer Tracy, who runs a refugee for poverty-stricken men in Omaha, Nebraska. Father Flanagan witnesses the condemned man's bitter verbal attack to prison officials and reporters of his awful plight as a homeless boy who was a ward at state institution, stating, "I was a 12-year-old boy if I only had one friend." After the convicted man asked for the officials to leave, Father Flanagan provides some comfort and wisdom. On the train back home to Omaha, Father Flanagan has a humanitarian vision, believing there is no such thing as a bad boy, begins taking steps on an attempt to prove it. Back home, Father Flanagan witnesses a street fight amongst homeless kids, begins to break it up just as one throws a rock through a store front window. Father Flanagan, the store owner, and 4 boys from the fight now stand before a court judge. The judge would like to send the children to a county reformatory, much to the disappointment of Father Flanagan. Pleading to the judge and the store owner, the $80 store window is waived, and the 4 boys are now Father Flanagan's full responsibility. Through the help of the parish and some furniture from the store owner, Father Flanagan rents a house to get started. With much needed financial help and donations at Christmas, he battles indifference, the legal system, and even more boys to build a sanctuary that he calls Boys Town. Meanwhile, Joe Marsh, a hoodlum in prison for murder, asked Father Flanagan if he could help his younger brother Whitey, played by Mickey Rooney, a boy too much for anyone to handle. With Father Flanagan obliging, tough-talking Whitey is determined to stay bad with his "don't be a sucker" attitude. So, does Boys Town mascot Pee-wee make a new friend? Does Whitey pack his bags more than once and want to leave? Or does a brother's prison break change the direction of our story? Released September 9th, 1938, Boys Town was a box office success, becoming the second highest grossing film of 1938, earning MGM over $2 million in profit. With a 90% rating from the film critic Rotten Tomatoes, this film received 4 nominations and 3 wins, including a 1939 Oscar win for Best Writing Original Story for Eleanor Griffin and Dora Sherry, and a 1938 National Board of Review win for Best Acting for Spencer Tracy. And in 1998, this film was nominated among American Film Institute's Top 100 Greatest American Movies. A great list for a great movie. You would enjoy this one. If you like the film Captain's Courageous, you would like this one as well. And our trivia question this week: did an Oscar win spawn another win for the real Boys Town? Did an Oscar win spawn another win for the real Boys Town? So a little more history and the answer to our trivia question coming up next. Since our film is based on Father Edward J. Flanagan's work, that's the subject of this week's history. So, Reverend Edward Joseph Flanagan was an Irish-born priest of the Catholic Church in the United States who served for decades in Nebraska. Born July 13, 1886, near the village of Ballymoe, County Galway, Ireland, who in 1904 immigrated to the United States with his sister Nellie. In 1906, he received a Bachelor of Arts degree from Mount St. Mary's University in Maryland. later entering St. Joseph's Seminary in New York, and then stayed with his brother, Father Patrick Flanagan, in Omaha, Nebraska, due to pneumonia. Flanagan returned to Europe, entering the Royal Imperial Leopold Francis University in Austria, where he was ordained a priest in 1912. In 1916, Flanagan established a homeless shelter for transient workers, but was moved by the plight of the troubled youth. Borrowing $90 in 1917, he rented and founded a home for boys in Omaha, an experiment in housing and education. Now housing over 50 homeless boys, the downtown facilities were inadequate, so Flanagan established Boys Town, 10 miles west of Omaha, in 1921. Not believing in the reform school model, boys between the ages of 10 and 16 could receive an education and learn a trade. Boys Town grew to be a large community with its own boy mayor, a chapel, both elementary and high schools, a post office, cottages, dairy and wheat farming, a trade school including carpentry, and a library housing over 4,000 books. Keeping things in line, there is the Boys Town Safety Patrol, gymnasium and sports facility housing baseball, football, and boxing. For this film, Flanagan was allowed to review the script before filming, some of which took place at the complex. Flanagan served on several committees dealing with the welfare of children, and General MacArthur invited Father Flanagan to Japan and Korea in 1947 to advise on child welfare. Flanagan received many awards for his work, was inducted into the Nebraska Hall of Fame in 1965, and in 1967, a portrait statue was created, dedicated to him in Ballymoe, Galway. Just amazing, and this is a great film to watch before going back to school. And the answer to our trivia question this week: did an Oscar win spawn another win for the real Boys Town? Yes. In February of 1939, Spencer Tracy won the Oscar for Best Actor for his portrayal of Father Flanagan, the first actor to win 2 consecutive Academy Awards for Best Actor, the other being Captains Courageous in 1937, and I did a review on that one. Please click the link below. During his acceptance speech, Tracy stated, "If you have seen him through me, then I thank you." The Academy awarded Boys Town a statuette as well. The inscription read, "To Father Flanagan, whose great humanity, kindly simplicity, and inspiring courage were strong enough to shine through my humble efforts, Spencer Tracy." Isn't that incredible? I'd like to give a big thank you to my new subscribers. Thanks for supporting my channel. And to everyone else this week, thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope to see you back next week.